Hi, this is rukristin, feminist scrapbooker, and today I'm here to share one of my latest projects with you, this New York City Traveler's Journal. I used a fake Midori Traveler's notebook that I picked up at Michael's, like 3-pack for $5, so can't go wrong there, right? And throughout this book, which was of my most recent trip to New York City to see Hamilton, which was amazing, I used a lot of the latest Freckled Fawn kit in this, and it made putting together this album both super simple and super fun. So, here's my cover. I used Kelly Perky stamps to stamp this geometric pattern on the outside that gave me room for my dates, gave me room for my title, New York City, with some Kelly Perky letters, and a little bit of journaling. I added a geotag paperclip to the front and an adventure sticker to the side. Open this up. This is one of my favorite pages. Here is a map of New York City, and I used these enamel dots here and throughout the map to indicate places we went throughout the weekend for tourism, for theater, for a hotel, where our hotel was, and some places we went out to eat. You can see the enamel dots throughout the city. Here is the first page, the first real page of the album, which was my Detroit to LaGuardia page. It was kind of an awful flight. We had to leave our house at 3:30 in the morning to get there, and we were exhausted the entire time. But I grabbed some great New Jersey Transit memorabilia and some MTA memorabilia to shove in my album. We went back the next day to the city, and we stayed in this adorable hotel called The Paul on 29th Street. So, inside each room was the Paul journal, which was a cute little way that they had like guest services book, like told you how to get on the internet and all of those other things. And I cut out some of the pages with the pretty illustrations on it, and I added this photo from the front of their lobby. Here's some more illustrations from the Paul journal, and our first lunch at Italy. We had the most amazing prime rib sandwich. If you ever get to Italy for lunch, get a sandwich because they're just incredible. Flipping over, here is my Hamilton page, and it's a little bit interactive. I have this Freckled Fawn paperclip. It comes off. And then I have this star overlay that I've been saving with a "Let's Go" on the bottom. And here's the first time that I'm using any of my journaling cards in Awesome Ladies by rukristin, which comes out next month. Pre-orders will be later this month. The story of tonight. And then here, I could not bear to cut up my playbill, no matter what. Even though I had an extra, I could not cut it up. So I grabbed a photo from something else and put it there at the bottom. I got these cool sheets of paper and a notebook over here on this side. And I used that to journal about both Hamilton and 1776, which is later in the album. But it's a great way to just get all of my thoughts out, because I could have written for days about Hamilton. But this description, analysis, interpretation, evaluation was a really great way to just get out some of the main things that I was thinking. I had my ticket in here. I added, instead of the playbill, I taped in the different performances, because we did not see Lin-Manuel Miranda, which, albeit made me super sad at first, was really interesting because I definitely spent the time working through the theme of legacy while watching Hamilton, and it was really cool to watch the legacy that Lin-Manuel created. I added a photo of the theater up here, I added some journaling down here, some more washi tape, and then I flipped over my next page, which was more about our hotel and the bunk beds that we had, the place that we went out to dinner. I needed to grab a new pair of shoes, so that was the sticker from my new Toms. And on Friday, we did some Alexander Hamilton tourism and went down to Trinity Church, where we saw the church itself, which was beautiful, and Alexander and Eliza's graves, as well as a bunch of Wall Street and Financial District tourism. Here's the nave of Trinity Church, and here is the World Trade Center with some post 9/11 journaling, because that's who I am. So, we walked down Wall Street and we made it to Federal Hall. I added a picture of the New York Stock Exchange up here, and this FDNY fire truck was just chilling and looked really cool next to this building with the lines and the super old Broad Street. So I stopped and took that picture, and I'm glad that I put it in there. We found a great lunch place called Hudson Eats down in the financial district, and we had sandwiches and we had tacos and we had amazing food court food for our pre-theater lunch. And then we made our way to our next show, 1776, which was absolutely incredible. I don't know if you watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but Greg on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, he was John Adams, and he was so perfect. It was just unreal. Okay, so I added this page again over here to journal a little bit about the show. I added some Kelly Perky election stamps at the bottom for theme, and I had a hard time breaking up this memorabilia here. It was a piece about this big, so I just chopped it up so that I could see the title up here, and this comes out like this so that you can see everyone who was in the show, and also just tuck it right back in there. All right, I added my tickets here in the envelope, keeping as much memorabilia as possible. I added this Legacy of 1776 because in the playbill for 1776, there was an interview between old John Adams, Mr. Feeney, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, and what they think 1776 meant and had an impact on Hamilton. So it was just a really great thing to see back to back. There's not a way we can ever go home without seeing like all of our families. So we did a whole bunch of family meals. We met with my cousins, we met with Jeff's family, we met with my bestie Rebecca, and had a great time. And I wanted to add in food and family and talk about the way we spent the rest of our time back home that was not Hamilton and 1776 related. The last page of my album has our brutal return home. We got to LaGuardia early, but it was like they had no idea how to actually run an airport, so our whole flight was delayed, and it was just kind of comical to watch, but I really just wanted to get home. But here, in the last page of my album, I did add this washi tape from the Freckled Fawn kit, as I did in the beginning here, so that I could start and end my album with that same theme of coming and going. I added some journaling here, and then on the bottom, so happy to be home. Thanks so much for checking out my project. If you would like to check out more of my projects, please visit areyoukristen.com/blog, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much.